3, 2, 1. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jill.
And
we're
HipStrings. Welcome to day 7. Day 7, right?
Yes, day 7.
Day 7 of the Base12 Spinalong.
Second half.
Second half. I have a fresh bobbin. You can see the wonderful set that I have spun the past 6 days. I don't know if you can tell some of the things I've spun through the edge here. And we are using wonderful Acroworks, or at least I'm using Acroworks bobbins. So they have this amazing see-through edge.
Open.
Open?
Openish.
I guess that's the word for it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. You're going to go ahead and start talking about yours while I roll my die.
Day 7 is another hand-dyed merino, 70% gray merino, 30% tussa silk. This is in violet blue. And this is a very big helping.
Uh-oh.
What?
I've gotten to the point where, like, I'm actually rolling numbers that I've already done, and I forgot what I've done. So, I gotta roll again.
Well, that means I get to start early. Ha.
Wait, what does that, how does that mean you get to start early?
I forgot to grab another bobbin, so I'm gonna continue. But my plan is to chain ply.
There you go.
So it really doesn't matter if I have an uneven assortment of fiber on my bobbins.
Yeah, and because I'm going to be doing 2-ply, that's why I have to change my bobbin and go on. But on the bright side, I have something that you've already done, so you can talk about what this is.
Ah, that's day 1. Cloud blue. I can read.
Cloud blue.
Hand-carded bat.
That is a very good. 2 bats in a row.
Yeah, 70% merino wool, 10% mulberry silk, 10% viscose from bamboo, and 10% tussa silk.
So I've got a question for you.
Yes.
We talked about how sliver and carded top and everything has a direction. Does hand-carded bats
Technically
have a
they
direction?
do, because the teeth are all grabbing in one direction.
Oh no.
Haha.
Yeah, you're totally going to win this one.
So
Okay,
yes, there's going to be directionality to a bat as well.
Okay, it felt like there was, but I didn't know if that was my hallucination or if there actually was. Okay. I'm going to have to concentrate on this. Not too hard.
And the way that I card my
There you
bats,
go.
the fibers are still probably majority parallel.
Why do I have a hissing sound?
Lubricant.
Do I need to lube this?
You might. Well, you put a fresh bobbin on.
I did put a fresh bobbin. And since I changed something,
You should check your wraps per inch.
I should check my apps for inch, and I should probably lube. All right. And you are totally going to smoke me today.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. I think I have a very generous helping of this fiber. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. All right. Let's try this again.
I
Still
really
kinda
like this
hissy,
color, though.
but it's less hissy than before.
Give it some time. Sometimes it needs time to work. So, or it'll
Especially
hiss
because I'm not
less.
taking my bobbin off.
Yeah,
I'm
especially
completely
once you
lubing
get
the
some
shaft.
weight on the bobbin, it might quiet down too.
Yeah. So, what's new with you?
Trying that last little push. So, as a reminder, the shipping deadline has passed for if you want things to arrive before Christmas. However, the shop is still open until Tuesday. So, if you have any last-minute fiber needs for the year, get your orders in quick.
Yeah, are they gonna be able to get it by New Year's if?
Yeah, it's gonna ship out on Wednesday unless it's like you order every bat I have in the
Don't
shop.
do that.
Don't do that, please.
For Jill's sanity. Oh wow, this is spinning super consistent, and I like this bat.
I made pretty smooth bats this year.
Yeah. Well, the last one was number 4.
That's as textured as they come this
Had
year.
textured.
But that's as textured as it comes
Well,
textured.
the other
this
funny
year.
thing is that, like, some of these things, some of your blends have consistent texture, right? So like you're
Mm-hmm.
always dealing with some level of texture. Number 4 was like smooth, 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 smooth. Bam! Punch you in the face.
Yeah, that's the
Smooth,
sorry
smooth.
threads.
And it is. I think it's going to make an excellent knitted section, but it was not what I was expecting.
So yeah, shops are going to be closed from December 20th to the 31st.
You're going to open on the 1st
I'm going to open on the 1st.
with a hangover? I mean, maybe not a hangover.
I don't do hangovers.
For those of you that celebrate, happy first day of Hanukkah.
Yes.
I was thinking, like, you know, I should look this thing up, and my instinct was apparently correct. Because it's like, hey, Google, when is the first day of Hanukkah? And it was like, it happened today, dude.
And on a completely different note, the Brujas were successful in Argentina won.
Oh, the
World Cup.
Argentinian Brujas, yes. So congrats to Argentina for winning the World Cup. We didn't watch. We didn't have our cheese plate.
No.
There's still brie in the fridge. I don't know. Maybe Gab discovered that there's brie, so maybe there isn't brie in the fridge. But
I don't think they've discovered that there's brie in the fridge.
okay. We'll have to find some other excuse to.
Amy's asking if we watched the World Cup final. We did not watch the World Cup final.
We did not. What were we doing? We were like, oh yeah, the World Cup's on, and then we were in the middle of doing
You
all
were trying
sorts
to
of
figure
crafts.
out how to like program a Zelda theme into a mechanical music box.
So we got. We've been getting a whole bunch of Tinker crates, which are these awesome, like little boxes of science engineering kits
Design, yeah.
that they make something. And my brother has sent them for myself and for our children. And one of the boxes that we got a long time ago was for a music box. And you could program whatever you want. And so I was able to program a moving the tabs around to make the hammers hit different notes at different times. So the first thing that I programmed was the Song of Storms from Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. And the second thing I programmed was Never Gonna Give You Up. And I don't know how. So we have an ongoing Rickroll battle in our family, where we try to find new and creative ways to Rickroll each other. But my son, he has an instinct for this, because I was like, okay, so I'm gonna totally Rickroll him. Yeah, I'm not putting enough twist in this.
Okay, I'm going to teach you how to butterfly.
Teach me how to butterfly, and then we can get back to
Because
Rickroll.
otherwise you're going to make a mess of
Yeah,
this.
yeah. How do I butterfly?
Okay, so on your hand,
Okay.
you cross it.
Are we gonna butterfly you?
No, because then I won't have my hand. But you do the loop between your thumb and your pinky, but you do a cross.
Yep.
And that cross keeps your single from tangling up.
Yeah.
The same concept is used in weaving to keep things from getting tangled. And I also learned apparently Peruvians use it for how they skein up their high twist singles, which have a lot of energy and would really like to tangle. They make figure 8 skeins.
I'm totally losing today.
That's okay.
Okay, so back to the Rickroll.
Yeah.
So I was I programmed this to play for my children, and being like, hey, check out this new song that I programmed into this thing, and my son knew right away.
Do you not have something hooked properly?
It's possible. No, I do.
Oh, you're just not off the point.
Okay. He knew right away what I was going to send his way and start playing, and he immediately was not having any of it. But I was able to, when he was video chatting with his cousin and playing Minecraft online, I was able to rickroll his cousin, so that was fun. I just needed to add a little bit of extra twist.
Yeah.
And Jill, maybe I can talk a little bit about why I actually need to add a little bit more speed and twist when I'm starting out than when I was ending my bobbin.
Yes, because you're spinning on a flyer-led wheel. So flyer-led wheel, also known as Scotch tension, which is not a great term.
We'll just go with flywheel.
Yeah, go with flyer-led. Flyer-led means that what is getting powered by the drive band is the flyer. And spinning wheels work through a concept called differential rotation. So your flyer is spinning at a different speed than your bobbin. And that difference in speed is what determines your take-up.
Yes?
I'm seeing what you're doing with your wheel.
Oh, because it's not having enough grip on the...
Move your drive band to the largest groove. It's like... I might need to replace your drive band soon.
Yeah. There we go. Cool, thank you.
That better?
I moved it to the smallest groove on my head, and it wasn't gripping enough. I'm sorry, we're like completely being scatterbrained here about this. Okay, go on.
Okay, so
differential rotation.
Differential rotation allows for take up and winding on when you break tension lock or fiber lock. Or I forget what the exact term is called. On a flyer-led wheel, the amount of twist that your wheel is putting in depends on the bobbin diameter, and your bobbin diameter changes as you spin more fiber because you're changing the size of your bobbin core. As that core gets closer to the flyer arms, your wheel gets more efficient at putting twist in. And so often, this is why a lot of people have a tendency to spin thinner when they are getting closer to the end of a bobbin, because their wheel they aren't changing anything about the rhythm of their feet or their hands, but the wheel's getting more efficient, so it's putting in more twist. And people generally, if your wheel's working at a faster RPM, you tend to spin thinner as a compensatory action.
I mean, unless you get some of the twist going into the fiber supply, at which point you spin a bit thicker. But anyways.
Yeah.
My issue is not necessarily on the thickness that I was spinning, but on the amount of twist that I was adding. And
right.
So when I finished my last bobbin, I was adding the right amount of twist, as we know from after my day 2 fiasco, right? Day 2/3.
But now starting off on a new one.
Starting a new one because I'm at the core of the new bobbin.
It's not as putting as much twist as it was yesterday.
So to compensate, instead of just hanging out here for a longer time, because that's going to make me lose, I am increasing the speed of my flyer by changing the gear ratio.
Pulley ratio.
Yes, what you said.
Wheel doesn't have teeth.
I was going to make a really inappropriate joke, but yes, things that have teeth. Pulley ratio, and so smaller on the flyer, bigger on the wheel, if you can do that. How many wheels have a lot of
No, I think like there's
slots?
the Ashford Joy, there's the Magic Crafts, and I think those are the main ones I know of that have grooves on the wheel.
Yeah, everything else usually has grooves on the flyer itself.
Grooves on the flyer or grooves on the pulley.
Yeah. So there you go. That was explaining a lot of my difficulty.
All better now?
All better now.
How's your playback sample?
I don't know.
You just think everything's better?
It's looking a lot better, yeah?
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah, that is better.
Okay. I'm just kind of hoping it's better.
Aspirational improvements.
Yep. It's not like that whole, you can't improve what you don't measure, right? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like this color.
I should hope so.
It's a new one. I really like, blues that lean purple.
So I was having difficulty with my whole rolling the dice multiple times. Is this this is a hand die, or is this
The one I'm doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hand dyed.
Okay. Is it a new die that you have that you're saying, or?
Yeah, it's a new combo. Like, it's a new color that I developed. Because I dyed something else and it wasn't right. Or no, I dyed another color line and realized it was a repeat of what I had done like last year.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that will not do.
That won't do.
People come for new, exciting things. I almost repeated like one of the blends I used too, and I said, nope, none of that.
So how far back do you go to check whether or not you're repeating something?
I mean, we've only done this 4 times, so it's not that hard.
Okay. So far, to your... Oh my gosh. My supply
There
is
might have been
going.
one repeat, because I do have some that work really well. They play well with others.
By the way, Diane says that they love this color too. And Amy says Blurples are a favorite of mine.
I should dye some yak silk this color.
And Blurple?
And blurple. Oh, violet blue.
Violet blue?
I've actually
Blue?
done blurple before, so.
Yeah. Okay,
Blue.
what's the difference between Blurple and Blue?
Blurple was not as cool. In like
That is cool.
the cool tones
So it's warmer.
way. It was warmer.
Okay.
I mean, blurple is a generic term for blue purples.
Yes. But purple is more warm than violet, is what you're telling me.
Yes, violet is a cool.
Okay. Also, by the way, Amy says Rick rolling yourself is next level. We do have... There was the epic Rickroll battle of 2021 that Adrian definitely won.
Now I know why I like this color so much.
Why?
It's the natural color of my hair. My hair is not its usual color because I'm matching our eldest child right now.
Well, you're also
and they
using...
promised me this would fade into something interesting, and it's still just black.
It's
Weeks
very
later.
slightly in the sheen, starting to fade, kind of like old lady black.
Thanks.
Sorry.
I was going more for like corvid or iridescent, like midnight.
Corvid.
Corvid.
Like
Like
the bird?
crows and blue jays and magpies.
Okay.
And
All right. I just wanted to make sure I was understanding what you're saying.
yes, like more of a corvid black.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Instead of old lady black.
Well,
Do
hopefully.
you need some lessons in marketing?
You know that I am not good with color descriptions. That's why I leave it to you. I mean, you got a little bit of a sheen thing going,
Yeah.
but
It's
not.
a little bit dark.
It
for
is
me.
not. It is not the.
It's not my
like,
natural color.
cool purple shimmer that Gab promised.
Yeah.
So. I don't think Gab needs the lessons in marketing. Gab promised and didn't deliver. There's a perfect marketing lesson right there.
I mean, that is the teenage way, right?
To promise and not deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know what they're making for people in the family, and pretty awesome.
Well, but they haven't promised anything,
Yes.
so that means they can deliver.
Yes.
See. Under
You might
promise, over
cry.
deliver. I might cry.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
That good.
Okay. Now you're over
Even better than them bringing you home a pony.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, Amy, by the way, is totally calling me out and saying Old Lady Black is exactly what someone wants to hear from their partner. I did not think my filter to my mouth was not an operation. It isn't usually an operation, but yeah, sorry. But let's talk about how awesome Gab was. So, like, teachers tend to have in our school district tend to have like a lot of little gifts that they give to their students for like winning fastest answer to a question or something and whatnot. And for some reason it tends to usually be a lot of like old McDonald's like Happy Meal toys and stuff. And so now this is the second time
This is the second time?
that Gab has done something that won them one of these little prizes in school in a class, and Gab, there was nothing that Gab wanted, but they saw little My Little Pony McDonald's toy, and they were like, my dad is gonna love that. And absolutely, their dad loves that. So the first time, it was the little like train car that had a rainbow dash on it. That when you rolled the train car, the rainbow dash goes back and forth. I don't know where they got that from. I assumed it was.
I don't know where they got it from either.
Anyway, the today or not today, but this time, that was yesterday. This time, Gab got me a little My Little Pony rarity doll from or figurine from the My Little Pony the movie release. I love My Little Pony, and it's because it is so damn wholesome and amazing and fun, and the characters are great, and I actually have loved My Little Pony since the 80s too, so don't you judge me. Anyway. So, the best part about it is Gab was like, yeah, I'm getting this from my dad. And apparently some of their friends thought they were joking. And so, I can totally tell their friends, like, yeah, watch this podcast. It'll get us the views. And, and I can absolutely 100% say, yep, I got it. I loved it. It's on my desk. Yeah. And if you're ever doubting the awesomeness of My Little Pony, I will just tell you, go look up the video for the song Time to Be Awesome from the My Little Pony movie. And if you're ever feeling uninspired and, like you need a little pick-me-up, yeah, it'll do the trick. And No Fly says, I believe they had bronies at Power Plant Live. You are a dirty, dirty liar. Bronies were not a thing at that time. Although technically, I guess I might have been a brony at that time. Oh, Power Plant Live. Sorry, I'm thinking the Power Plant. Yeah, I've never been to Power Plant Live. Yeah, no, there's all sorts of brony conventions.
There's BrodyCon.
That I don't think are a thing anymore since My Little Pony Friendship is Magic went away. See, I have mixed feelings about bronies. Like, I guess technically, being male, I am a brony, but, like, that is not what defines me as a My Little Pony fan, and I'm not, like, eager to go find other male My Little Pony fans. I want to find...
You don't like your My Little Pony fandom to be gendered.
Exactly. I just want to find other My Little Pony fans. I don't care whether or not they're male or female. That's why I've got the mixed feeling about broniness. But I guess technically I'm a brony. But I do not identify as one? I don't know. Anyway, sure, Power Plant Live. Yeah, there was I think there was a BronyCon in Pittsburgh too. I've debated whether or not to go to that. There's also Anthrocon in Pittsburgh, which we've never gone to. Although, Usagi Yojimbo, old comic, very good. Core anthropomorphized stuff. It's a,
Samurai Rabbit, right?
yeah, classic Japanese samurai literature told with rabbits as the characters. No Flash says sounds inclusive. Yeah, I tried to be. I don't know. Ain't no gatekeeping here. All right, let's talk about fiber again.
Yeah.
I mean, we could. Here's an amazing segue that you did have the, you know, a lot of the.
I really want to know where the statement is going.
The fibers that you had related to
all the unicorns?
Not all the unicorns, but there were some
okay,
unicorns.
the unicorn collection. There were multiple unicorns in the unicorn collection that were My Little Pony references.
Yeah.
Because Unicorn DJ was My Little Pony.
Yes.
Unicorn in the Library was a My Little Pony reference.
Yep. Yeah. Unicorn DJs. DJ Unicorn is such a ridiculous character. I love him. Mm-hmm. Her. I don't know if it's a him or her. I don't think it matters.
DJ Pond.
DJ Pond. All right. Now that we've sufficiently lost enough viewers. Actually, we haven't, but... all right. Help me out here, Jill. No,
What?
not with my spinning, with what I'm saying.
Okay, well, you're stopping to play with your spinning and at the same time looking to me for advice. So I assume it's for spinning help.
No, I'm asking you to help me dig up.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
No, you're just in that hole, Nick. You're in that hole by yourself.
Yeah.
You got there, you got to figure
I
out how
have
to get out
no
of it.
ladders.
So the other thing that I was doing today was finishing the final details on my mistletoe.
Yes, which I posted on Instagram.
So you can check out Jill's Instagram.
You need I need to take a sideways photo of it so you can actually see the missile.
And the rocket and the flame.
Yeah.
Or the smoke coming out of the rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And enjoy the full glory that is the mistletoe.
And I will say I did not design the 3D print. That I got off Thingiverse. But I did do all the painting and the printing at the ridiculous size that it is. I guess there's nothing really to identify the scale at which, but, you know, mistletoe needs to be like a good chunk of you know, poisonous.
A nice pomander.
Poisonous material.
Poisonous parasitic plant.
Yeah. So our mistletoe is a similar, you know, half head size.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember my parents had a plastic mistletoe when I was growing up.
You had it like hanging in your bedroom.
Well, originally it was hanging in our entryway.
Yeah.
And then I was a weird teenager. That's all that needs to be said.
It's like you've grown out of being a weird middle-aged man.
I've grown out of being a weird teenager into a weird middle-aged man. Yes,
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you. I asked you to help me dig up, not dig
Nope,
down.
no, I said I had no ladders.
Yes, apparently you only have shovels. Burying me.
Go deeper, Nick. Go deeper.
Eventually I come out on the other side.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're halfway through, so we've started getting punchy.
Started.
You're gonna beat me.
Boxing match.
Here you go, like being like, oh, Jill's gonna beat me today.
Well, because you're, oh my God, you're spinning frog hair.
I am not spinning frog hair.
That is absolutely frog hair.
I'm gonna take pictures and post on Instagram my other spinning project. That is frog hair.
By the way, that's not going to be thin enough for you. Here you go.
You're just slowing me down.
Yes, you deserve it.
This is kind of awkward.
You got to show live how to use
Okay,
that
I'm not
thing.
going on the wrap 20. That is not necessary.
No, I didn't think so.
Oh, that's okay. You just have to go from bottom up.
Yep.
I'm gonna do my cheater way. I don't try to get them lined up nice and close to each other.
To start off with.
To start
right?
off
And you
with.
slide it down.
I slide it down
Yeah.
because then that makes sure I'm not messing with tension.
Yep.
It'd be useful if I was keeping track of my wraps, though.
How many? You didn't count how many times you wrapped it around?
No.
I really am slowing you down.
I'm at like 40 wraps per inch.
Yes, and you started off at like 32.
It's only, what, 25% thinner?
Only. That's 25% more material. Yeah. Okay. No wonder I'm frog hair for the mistletoe, Amy. Yes, absolutely. Wouldn't that be toad hair then? Yeah, you gotta spin thicker.
I'm trying. I really am. I'm sorry, right now, like 28, 32 wraps per inch seems huge.
So you were talking about how your other project is frog hair.
Yes.
What are you spinning there?
Well, there's the Polworth mohair silk on the rose, which is using the high-speed head.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as fast as that wheel goes, which I think that's in the like 27-to-1 ratio, maybe a
Wow.
little bit higher. I forget exactly how fast that goes. And then the other thing I'm spinning right now is yak silk on my Falcon, which I'm spinning at 65% power, which I think is close to like 2700 RPM. And then my
Nice.
other project is Cormo Kiviot silk on the Jensen Ashley at like 30-to-1.
Okay.
So now I'm spinning at like 15-to-1 on this wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm spinning like twice as thick as I'm spinning on, at least twice as thick as any of my other projects.
And you're still too thin.
And I'm still too thin.
All right. Well, you did tell me I needed to.
There
beat
was
you.
something you were gonna do.
Yeah, because I forgot to let.
Oh,
the
that's
dad joke.
right.
Yeah. You entertain them. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm gonna think about this thing. No pressure.
So what plans do you have for, like, if you do get a little bit of a holiday break? Do you have any fiber plans? Since I'm actually taking a bit of a break, I do have fiber plans. I'm going to dress a loom for Nick to weave on that has been naked for way too long.
I don't think that loom has ever been. No, it has been dressed once. You tried to dress it, and then it fought you.
I did have a finished project off that loom.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
I turned it into a vest. And I think I did some dish towels on it too. Maybe? No. But I'm gonna install the sectional beam and try that out on my Louette David, which is my last standing floor loom. And then I'm gonna do a stash tosh with some friends the week after Christmas, because too much of my stash things have just been randomly thrown into bins. And I find that if I put things into bins that are larger than the 16 quart clear bins, it might as well not really exist. It takes up space, but I'm never going to go find it. So I'm going to go and reorganize my stash and get it properly labeled so that
Tell us your stash.
So I actually use it.
Yeah.
I'm getting really itchy to cast things on.
You were saying that you were going to do a whole like toss the stash with friends thing, like a
I was talking
Zoom
about
call.
that.
Yeah.
And I used to do 12 days of casting on between Christmas and New Year's, which usually only lasted about 6 days.
Yeah.
And it generated a lot of whips that I didn't necessarily finish, which was not a good thing.
Well, no, not just you didn't necessarily finish them.
Or I didn't even necessarily start.
No. You were yelling yesterday because I found another bag which had a project in there which you even forgot you had started.
Yes. So I might do like 12 days of whips and work on a different whip every day. I'm sure I could find 12.
12 days of whips that you've already started. Okay. Maybe I should do 12 days of working on that 10-year-old project.
Yeah. That would be really nice, Nick.
Is it the time in our podcast where I get to talk about like the yearly time where I describe this knitting project?
The project that is
the manliest knitting project ever?
Yes, which is almost 12 years old now.
Is it 12 now?
Yes. It will be 12 in May. Because Adrian was a baby when we went to that Maryland sheep and wool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me describe the project.
No,
What?
That wasn't our first. We got that at our first Maryland sheep and wool, didn't we?
Probably.
Which I think was when Gab was a baby.
No.
When we only had one kid? Did we have one kid or 2 kids at our first
I think we
Maryland?
had 2. This is depressing. How
No,
hard
I
it is
think
for us to remember
I think
that.
it was Adrian was a baby because that was 2011.
Okay.
Because that's when I started spinning.
Okay. Do we need carbon dating on my yarn?
Possibly.
So, by the way, before I go into this story, Amy notes that she has about 4 yards left to weave on a towel warp on the baby wolf, and then a pile of hemming for Diana herself. Okay, so the manliest knitting project ever. It starts off with using carbon fiber needles, because, like, no aluminum or wood here, right? Carbon fiber. And then one of the yarns is made from Jacob sheep?
Jacob.
Yeah, from Jacob sheep, which, like, if you've seen a Jacob sheep, like, that's what,
They're very metal.
They're totally metal. That's what all the images of the devil are based off of, right? Like, they've got the horns that come up and curl around, and they got the other horns that come out of the cheeks and come up. Like, they are demons. So it's not just Jacob sheep. They're demon wool, right? Okay, so what could make demon wool even more epic? You ply it, or
You
not
marl
ply
it.
but you
Hold it double.
hold it double with stainless steel, right? So we got this stainless steel from, what was the name of the company?
Habu.
Habu has this cool, I don't know if they still have it. Actually, it's been years since we've had it. But anyways, Habu has this yarn that has a core of steel, and it is wrapped in a tiny, tiny little bit of wool. And of course, I have a red version of it. So it is demon wool gilded with blood-soaked steel, right? And then what do you do with this? Well, I'm gonna make fingerless mitts. No, they're not fingerless mitts. They're bracers. And the pattern I'm using is fallberry mitts, which it has this like really nice like loopy pattern. No,
Texture.
they're dragon scales. So they are dragon scale bracers made from demon wool plied with blood-soaked steel, made on carbon fiber needles, like the manliest knitting project you could ever have. And this is, by the way, I will emphasize that this is in the same podcast where I was talking about my love for ponies. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there. So I need to finish that because it's a really old project.
Have you even finished one of the mitts?
Yes, I did. I finished one. I think. I'm pretty sure I finished one.
We
The
could
thing
just amputate and then you'd be done.
What? Let's not. I would have much difficulty spinning. You'd be doing this all by yourself. You couldn't beat anyone at that point. Lenora says she thinks she was 1. Was that when I started the project? Cause
It was 1. No, I didn't know the sweets with our first Maryland sheep and wool.
and No Fly says that's so fun. So yes,
Yes.
I will finally finish this. Maybe well, I've got a
Can
kitchen
you please
to
finish it for Maryland this year?
so I can show them off.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we haven't gotten to go to Maryland in a couple years.
I'll finish it for Maryland. The problem is, and I'm probably psyching myself out because I've done so many more complicated things. But
Yeah.
like the Fallberry mitts pattern, it's got a different stitch pattern every row, and so I have to pay attention. Then you get to stop for where you have like the opening for the thumb and et cetera, et cetera. So
I think you might be a better knitter now than you were
10 years ago.
12 years ago.
My gauge is probably off too. Yeah. So Emily says, I've got to see these. What's stopping you from completing them? I think a lot of it is, again, that like psyching myself out that I couldn't pay attention to them. And 12 years ago, I had little children, babies that would constantly demand me. So it was totally a thing of like, well, I need to save this for a time when I can pay attention to it. Like, I know exactly where everything is, too.
Now you can pay attention to
Now
it,
I can
and
pay
now
attention
you're just
to it.
like, it's been so long.
I'm psyching myself out. I gotta do it. Also, No Fly says, I once made an art hat from Kevlar yarn. Couldn't wear it because I mounted a bullet on it. I was afraid folks would want to add more. Oh my God. I did get some Kevlar yarn. That stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, like, you would feel so safe wearing this. And No Flash is encouraging me to finish them. Yes. Okay. So yes, definitely by Maryland. Maybe not for the new year because I have a kitchen to finish.
Yeah.
But yes, I will. Maybe I'll show if I have one of them finished. I'll bring one of them down tomorrow so I can show them off. Maybe I'll spin with them, with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Please don't amputate me while I'm doing this. You still need to spin thicker.
Do I?
Emily is saying that she's cheering me on and dust them off and show us
There
tomorrow.
probably is actually dust on the cone
They're
of yarn.
in a bag. Okay, so at least there's that. No Fly said I had to sign for it. This is when you had to justify your purchase. Yeah, my little bit of Kevlar yarn that
You have
I
like
got,
10 yards of it for doing paracord bracelet, right?
well, so yeah, I got some for doing a paracord bracelet because this is when I was like in this whole mentality of like I've got to have everything I could possibly ever need on me at all times.
Yes, when you started
And-
carrying a tourniquet with
And
you.
I learned about the Kevlar string that like you could use it if you ever needed to like go down the side of a building for whatever reason, right? It can hold over 200 pounds, or I think it was like it could hold 300 pounds. And I was like, okay, great. I can make a paracord bracelet out of that. And then if I ever needed to like go out of a window, I'd have something on me. I never actually made anything out of it, but it was this. You could see how my brain works. Let's see. Amy says, definitely don't amputate before the kitchen is done. I would also like to not amputate after the kitchen is done. But yes, doing the kitchen with,
Finish your fingerless mitts.
they will protect me.
Yes, because they're stainless steel.
Because they're stainless steel.
It'll make it much harder
demon
for
wool. And No Fly says, apparently you can use the Kevlar when you catch crabs, and she bought a cone. So, cool. I
Don't
think-
assume gender.
I'm sorry, they can use. They said. Now I'm. Well, I can't update my manliest knits ever, but I'm trying to figure out, would it be more manly?
You could like knit yourself or crochet a little like mitten cord so that you don't lose
Between the two of them?
between the two of them out of Kevlar.
Yeah. And they
So
would
that you
never
don't-
separate.
Yeah, and they would never separate.
it'd be like handcuffs. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll use the stainless steel for sure. And No Fly says fingerless is a joke. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah. Yeah, no, I think I am a better knitter than I was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Especially the first time I knit, right? This is reminding me of the first. I could totally tell my sob story about how I learned how to knit.
Yes.
Because I taught Jill how to knit. Jill crocheted, but I, my grandmother was the first person that I knew of that knit. And she would always knit us slippers every year for Christmas. They were called petitas. There's a special pattern that really just started with a stockinette, and then it went into a rib. No, it wasn't stockinette. It was a garter stitch, and then it went into a rib, and then you fold it together and stitch it. And it's actually a very, very simple pattern. But like as a kid, I was like, this is amazing, really super soft and warm, and it was great. And when she passed away, nobody took up the tradition. So I decided I was going to learn how to knit to take up the tradition. And so the first Christmas after she passed, I started knitting up. I learned from a book called Knitting with Balls, and it had all like male-oriented patterns. So yes, the name was intended to evoke that sort of imagery. But I learned all that, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to go right into this. And I knit a slipper that was about that big. Like, I don't know what was off with my gauge, but it was way off. Like, I've got big feet, but no, this is way too big. And then I ended up, like, continuously practicing, learning new stuff. It was probably a good, 10 years later, 7 years later or something, before I actually made slippers for everybody in the family. And when I finally did it, I was like, wow, that was a lot. I'm not doing that again. I should do that again, though. But I only did it once. Yeah, I've done a lot of other knitting.
I could use some slippers.
You could use some slippers? All right. There's still some time before Christmas. I can make you slippers.
You also have some bulky acrylic yarn.
You're not going to want slippers out of acrylic. I mean, I'm worried about the dyes.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine?
Yeah.
Okay. If you could actively point to the ones that you'd be fine with, that way I don't accidentally make you something that...
I'll go into your My Little Pony box of yarn.
Oh, that yarn is fine?
Yeah.
I do have a yarn stash for some
knitted toys.
Knitted toys that I'm making for the kids slowly. But it is a My Little Pony comic book collector's box. Thank you, Jill. I only wanted to show a little bit of that.
I mean, we bought it for you as a gift.
And it is so wonderful. It makes me very happy when I see it. All right. Lenora, by the way, says, what would be more manly than a T-Rex knitting dragon scalp bracers? Yes, I should continue knit. Well, so the problem is I can't knit as well in the T-Rex as I can spin, because it tends to be, well, T-Rexes have little tiny arms, and the viewport for what I'm doing doesn't really make it so that I can see the knitting. I can spin perfectly fine without seeing what I'm doing. Knitting, definitely at some point I have to look down, especially if I'm counting, especially if I'm doing something like a patterned.
Yeah. So Gab is our oldest, spring unusual yarn requests at me on short notice for things they want to make. And then if I cannot find exactly that yarn in my stash, I get a look. And so the latest was they wanted to make a crocheted like bunny bonnet for their friend. And so I needed pink like worsted weight or Aran weight yarn. And then a little bit of white and like a little bit of yellow.
Yeah,
Because they wanted to make some flowers.
Think Louise from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
Right? Like that sort of hat. But crocheted.
Yeah, and I don't knit with a lot of yarn in that weight, and it needed to be washed. Like it was going to be a gift. And I just don't have a ton of pink and yellow in my stash. But I ended up dyeing some yarn pink for them. And then I did find some yellow, which was the right weight. And that was, I had just plied up the singles that Nick had done during Maryland Sheep and Wool this year while he was spinning us at T-Rex. And so it was just enough length for what they wanted for their project. So.
T-Rex yarn.
It's T-Rex yarn.
Yeah. I'll have to figure out how do I top my manliest knitting project after I actually finish it. You know what? You know what's more manly than a pair of
dragons,
blood-soaked
steel
demon wool dragon scale bracers?
What?
Ones that take forever. All right, so I will. I've got. Since it's such short notice, it's not one that it's great. So I've got two for you.
Okay.
Okay. Where do this one's sort of in honor of the World Cup? Where do South American pirates come from?
I don't know.
Argentina.
Okay.
Okay. And now I already forgot the other one. Oh yeah. When life gives you melons, you're dyslexic. There you go. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking around. We really appreciate it. We will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night.
Thank you.